Put free money where the mic is. He got it on lock like Rikers. Green rebates get you paid, so a lot of people like us. Money Talks Podcast, watch it on all your devices. Woo!
Welcome back to the Money Talks Podcast. This is the first episode of Lucky Leaf 2026. I'm here with Ben from Hefestus.
Ethan,
Ben,
good to be here.
Thanks for sitting down with me, man. So you've been on the road a lot. Before we started filming, you talked about all the trade shows.
Right.
Do you enjoy traveling for work? What are the ups and downs?
For the most part, yes. I do enjoy traveling for work because it means we're doing something. It means there's action, there's stuff going on. And for what we do, trade shows are a necessity. We sell equipment, and in order for people to be curious and want to have the confidence in buying something, they need to see it. They need to, touch it, feel it, see how it operates. So, doing these trade shows, they are, it can be a lot at times, but they're fun and they're worth it for sure.
Totally.
Yeah.
And then when did you start working for Hefestus? How did that journey begin?
So I've known the Hefestus crew for 3+ years now, but I didn't start working for the company until last May. So coming up on a year, but known the group for quite a while now. I've done various things in the pre-roll sector of the industry, and obviously Hefestus, that's what we're known for. So yeah, just the stars aligned and it made sense, and I made the move over here, and I couldn't be happier.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what do you think, what does it take to make a successful pre-roll company? Because you guys are successful, and I see your guys' logo everywhere, and you have a lot of respect. A lot of people I talk to always are talking about Hefestus. Like, sure. What do you attribute that to? Yeah.
A lot of it is just time. We started working on cannabis, our pre-roll automation, almost 15 years ago, which most people didn't even realize that, most pre-roll companies or automation companies have been around for the last 5 years. So we've got almost 15 years of track record under our belt. So you learn a lot of things over the time. You learn a lot of what not to do, and you learn from your own, I won't say failures, but you learn from your own mistakes and issues and errors. So yeah, time is just part of it. And then obviously listening to your clients, listening to your customers, and understanding what the consumer is looking for in a good pre-roll. Well, you figure out what that is, and then you create a machine that can replicate that over and over and over, consistent, and that's what you get with Hefestus.
Right, high quality and high quantity. What is, because when I was coming up smoking weed, and we always loved rolling our own joints, sure, yeah, at age 18, and that was like a big part of it. But then as the barrier to entry for smoking weed became lower, people just wanted it done for them, yeah. So what are people looking for in a pre-rolled joint?
Yeah, so we were talking internally the other day about kind of the evolution of the pre-roll. Back in the day, it was usually whatever fell on the floor or whatever, just put it in there and we'll smoke it. Okay, great. And then it evolved to, hey, what about actually putting flour in there and making something delicious? Okay, cool. And so now, as you mentioned, people want convenience. It's not as if the industry became legal and all of a sudden stoners I'm going to go buy. No, you're bringing in a bunch of new people that are cannabis curious, and so high quality for one, consistency two, and for the most part, people are going for smaller profiles now. The dog walker, the half gram. Most people can't sit in one session and take down a full 1 gram joint, so you don't want to ash it out, put it back in a tube. COVID kind of knocked out the idea of passing the joint around, or made it less desirable. So now the hottest things are smaller profiles, multi-pack, pack consistently, smokes consistently, and again, high quality inputs. And then of course you have the entire now infused joint craze. Kind of a different thing, but yeah.
Nice. And you guys sell your machinery to dispensaries and to...
Not necessarily dispensaries. If anybody, so our machine, just to kind of give you context, our machine can produce up to 1,800 joints an hour, pre-rolls an hour with a single operator. So yeah, you obviously have to be doing a certain level of production in order for the machine to make sense. It also costs $250,000. So, yeah, it's not for everybody, but once you get to that level where you need that type of production and scale, that's where we come into play. I just lost my train of thought. What was it?
The machinery, who do you sell the...
Oh, correct, yeah. So brands that are producing a large number of joints. Co-packers, co-packers are the backbone of a lot of this industry, where they're the ones producing the joints for whatever brand. So big brands, co-packers, vertically integrated companies that have the need to produce a lot of pre-rolls. Basically, if you're doing anywhere from 30 to 40,000 or more pre-rolls a month, that's when our automation starts making sense from an ROI perspective.
Right, gotcha.
So, yeah.
And when you talk to people producing cannabis at a large scale, what are some of the main pain points you hear about?
Oh man, there's a ton. A lot of it is just labor. There's so much turnover in this industry. It's difficult to find labor and have them stick around. So when you're producing at that level, even though there is more automation coming into the space in various aspects of the industry, you still need people. And the more people you have, just it can create more issues. And your job used to be this, now your job is now HR because you now have so many people there. So labor is one of the largest components of that and can be a pain point. Also is just for large scale operations, knowing when to automate, understanding, okay, obviously there's an investment there, so understanding, doing the ROI calculations and figuring out, because you can automate early and you can sink money into equipment that you shouldn't have done right then. So knowing when to do it and the labor side of it are probably the two of the largest challenges that we hear, the most common challenges we hear.
Totally. I just had a conversation with someone at MJ Biz who said like finding all-star employees, like it's so much better to have like 5 all-star employees than 25 people who kind of don't know what they're doing.
Exactly, and that's something that people realize, or they maybe not realize, but when they switch over to automation, okay, like you said, maybe you go from 20 people now to 5. Well, now you have 5 all-stars. Now you can pay them more. Now they're going to stick around longer. They're going to be happier. So all these things kind of fall into place on top of the fact that you're more consistent, you're more efficient, you're doing a higher quality product. So it's kind of a win-win for everybody.
Gotcha. And what states are you doing the most business in?
Oh man, we're in every state, or every rec legal state at this point. We have a handful of machines in Canada, we have machines in Amsterdam, we have machines in Israel, we have a machine in France. As far as states go, Michigan's a good one for us, New Jersey's a good one for us, Missouri's actually kind of sneaky. People need to stop sleeping on the Missouri market. Yeah, they have a lot going on there.
And they're doing it, I feel like they did it like the way they rolled it out, they did it the right way.
Yeah, they're like one of the few states that actually talked and learned from other states on what not to do. Right. And yeah, they've been doing a great job. So Missouri's a strong state for us. Colorado's kind of made a resurgence for us. It's been a depressed market for a while, and kind of like California and Oregon and Washington, but Colorado's been up and coming for us recently. So yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting that Missouri, like since I started in the industry, it's been the state that people kind of talk the most fondly about. What about Minnesota? Here we are in Minnesota. I know it went legal a couple years ago. There have been some frustrations with the OCM rollout, and a lot of the cultivators are just like, when the hell can I get started? Yeah. Have you noticed some of that frustration with some of maybe your Minnesota clients or customers?
Yeah, so we only have a couple Minnesota clients. Obviously, as you mentioned, it's very recently became rec legal, and prior to that, the only rec business was the tribal organization. So we're fortunate to have a machine in one of those organizations. It's a lot of frustrating conversations, and when we talk to people and they want to get our equipment, but they can't do anything right now. And then you go to dispensaries and there's not much on the shelf because people can't produce, and so they can't produce, then there's not product to put on. So a lot of frustration. It's obviously moving in the right direction. And having events like this, just helps to kind of further the movement. So it's coming. It's coming. Yeah.
It's coming, and there's a lot of good people here, and they're hungry, and they're just excited. I've interviewed so many people, like cultivators of tomorrow from Minnesota, and even though they're kind of getting screwed by the government, they're still really optimistic, which is
optimistic, passionate, doing it for the right reasons. Yeah, that has been so. I have been here for 2 days now, and had the chance to go around to a couple different operations, and great people, as you mentioned. People in Minnesota have been just welcoming and awesome to talk to and work with. Frustrated, but again, optimistic, and not burnt out. So yet. So that's good to see.
Do you see it like maybe within the next 5 years turning into a market that's really thriving? Where
I would think so. Prior to legalization, again, you have the tribal organizations that were serving the market. Well, then everybody else goes to Michigan, excuse me. And that's like, why does Michigan do so well? Well, it's not because Michigan's incredible, and it's great, but you have Wisconsin, you have Minnesota, you have Ohio, although Ohio just became, recently. And so, there's plenty of business to be had here. It's just, you need to bring it in-house and do things right so your state can start reaping those benefits. So yeah, there definitely is a lot of opportunity here.
That's so true, and it's funny being in Michigan, how right at the state line, that's where all the dispensaries are.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's pretty common, and a lot of states that border a non-legal state. We have some clients in New Mexico. The most successful operations are the one right on the border of Texas. Like, all right, it makes sense.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, have you worked in any other industries besides cannabis? And like, if so,
oh yeah,
the question I want to ask is like, how would you compare this industry? Like, what makes the cannabis industry unique to any other industry you've worked in? I mean, it's kind of an obvious question.
Well, one, it's not federally legal, so that creates some challenges. I've been in out of college. I was in banking for 8 years.
Oh wow.
And I hated it. Probably 3 years into it, I knew I hated it, but
after seeing your tattoo, you don't strike me as a typical.
No, I'm not. Yeah, it seemed like the right move at the time. I did that. After I was in banking, I actually owned my own business for 9 years. I had a stone importing company and blah blah blah. And then after I sold that business is when I got into cannabis. So I've only been in cannabis, full time for the last coming up on 10 years. Some of the unique things about this industry, things that I enjoy about it, and let's be honest, it can be a pain in the ass. Like, this is a very difficult industry to operate in. It's people talk about dog years and cannabis years. 1 year equals like 10 years of your life in this industry. However, I haven't been in an industry where people have been more passionate about what they do. And obviously there's knuckleheads in an industry, so you get that here as well. But the people that are doing this, and specifically the ones that have been around for a while, they just love what they do. They love the plant. They love seeing it lose its stigma and get pushed forward as this medicine. And it's still a very young industry, so there's not too many opportunities in the world where you can get into an industry that's really just at its infancy. So for me, all those things are exciting. And then of course you have all the challenges that are unique to the cannabis space, with it not being federally legal, not being able to cross state lines, all those things we all know and love, but don't love. The people to me are what really make this industry, and it's pretty special.
I agree. Tell me about like Hefestus, and what are some unique developments or innovations that you guys are working on, or you guys are maybe excited as we go into 2026 and beyond?
Sure. Yeah. So our main technology is a system that pumps out pre-rolls. So what we have done, and we're still evolving it, but we want to create a system, a kind of an A to Z and end-to-end solution where at one end of the system you put in your ground material, and then at the other end of the system comes out a fully packaged pre-roll. So we have now done that. We have a grinder, we have a machine that makes the pre-rolls, obviously. Then you could connect that machine to another system that will take the pre-roll, put it in a tube, seal the tube, label the tube, et cetera, et cetera. So we've now done that. And like anything, it's going to evolve and it'll get better over time. But that system, the last part of that system, the tubing part of it, we just unveiled this past MJ Biz, so back in December. So it's still somewhat a work in progress. I mean, we built it, but we're fine tuning it now. So that's kind of the main things on our radar for the foreseeable future, is just really dialing in that full end-to-end solution. And then, once that happens, we'll see. We've got some other things that we're thinking about, some other ideas up our sleeve that generally are pre-roll related, but also packaging related. So most people don't know this, but Hefestus has been around for over 30 years. The core business is doing automation and packaging for food and pharmaceutical industries. And specifically, we focus on MAP packaging, so modified atmospheric packaging. So imagine like your tray of a ready-to-eat meal where it's sealed, and so that's all done under inert gas, usually nitrogen or argon. So again, modified atmospheric packaging, where you're sealing whatever the product is, you're purging it of oxygen, putting it in this inert gas for shelf-stability, antimicrobial, preservation, all these things. That's actually something that we've incorporated into our pre-roll packaging machine. Is we actually take the oxygen out of the tube, put in nitrogen, seal it, and so now you have better shelf life for your product.
Oh shit! Yeah. I didn't know that you could like the same techniques to keep food fresh.
Yeah.
You could do that with weed too.
Absolutely.
That's incredible. And then, so if there's a cannabis producer watching this right now and they're like, I need to talk to this guy, where could they find you? So Hefestus, you can see it all here. Our website is Hefestus-tech,
so you can find us there. My name is Ben. My email is ben@Hefestus-tech, so you can see it, -tech.com. Google us. You can, it's a pretty unique name. It's easy to find us. Type in pre-roll automation. We're going to come up there at the top. So all those ways you can get a hold of me. You'll probably see me flying around to whatever next trade show. So there's a good chance I'll be in whatever area you're in at some point over the year.
Yes. What's the? I'm thinking about this Elton John song where I can't think of the name, where he talks about how he's always traveling. I'm a running man. Is that? No, I'm a Rocket Man.
Oh, Rocket Man.
He
Yeah.
is the Rocket Man of the cannabis industry, always on the go. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me.
Ethan, I appreciate it. Thanks for the time. I enjoyed
absolutely,
it.
man. I did too.
Awesome.
Yeah, I just wrote a rebate check, 500K, call free money, you could change your life in a day, all good. You ain't gotta find me to thank, when the check come, I'll give you a ride to the bank, we turn.